So, it's official. I might have a problem. I am proper addicted to Battlefield 6's open beta, and I've only had 3 sessions on it in total, including my time in LA at the multiplayer reveal event. I've clocked close to probably about 25 hours already, man. On top of that, the fact that I'm literally pricing and compiling a list of parts for a brand new PC in response to this game, yeah, it says a lot, doesn't it? But what I've also been compiling as I play the game is a little list of weapon builds that have been really coming alive for me and I've been enjoying using in my time of playing Battlefield 6. And well, I know there's a lot of people out there who find the gunsmith system of modern day gaming a bit intimidating. And look, I get it. Freedom of choice and an abundance of options can stunlock even the most prepared of all of us. So today, I kind of wanted to do a quick video that went over some of the setups that I've been electing as my go-to over the past few sessions. It's worth pointing out here that I don't consider these to be the meta in any way, shape or form. I've not turbo-tismed over the stats or anything, and I haven't even unlocked everything so far, both from a weapon perspective and an attachment perspective. These are literally just some of my picks that I'm enjoying using at the time of making this video, and I wanted to use this as guidance for those who may be struggling to find their feet at the moment. So all that aside, let's get into some of my picks here today. And let's start off with the M433, the default assault rifle you have access to, and of the 3 in the game right now, is by far the most aggressively minded assault rifle. It rocks a pretty nutty RPM, but it tapers its damage model off over range pretty quickly, so I tend to build the weapon in a way that eliminates a lot of the recoil, but also introduces some mobility back into the kit that improves the CQC performance, which lets you play also as the spearhead of an assault class, just that little bit stronger. First off, we're running the 6H64 vertical forward grip. It's the main contender in the build for improving the weapon's recoil pattern and making it a lot more consistent. I'm also running the 16.5-inch fluted barrel, which basically aims to bring some of the aim handling back into the equation and improves that side of the weapon. The long suppressor is my muzzle choice here. Now, this also improves your recoil while giving you some improved flanking potential by keeping you off the minimap, which we love to see. I personally love going on a good flank, and I found that the long suppressor on this gun in particular, with its very aggressively minded stat sheet, does tend to be pretty fun to use. To maintain that aggression, I've decided to run the 30-round fast mag. It shaves about a quarter of a second off of the reload time, which is a massive improvement, and again just allows you to maintain that degree of aggression. And lastly here, we're running the Mini Flex 1.0 sight. Easily my favorite sight in the game right now with just how clean it is and how simple it is. But the sight of every weapon build is always subjective, and I always encourage you guys to, opt to whatever you find most comfortable. This is just the sight that I prefer using whenever I get the chance to do so. Alright, now that's my first build for the day, but now I want to move on to something a bit more compact with the SGX. This is the default SMG in the game, and in all honesty, this thing is a bit of a workhorse out of the gate. While it also really tapers off in the damage department bloody rapidly, there's no denying that it's a bit of a beam in the game right now. The right attachment setup on this thing doesn't really extend its damage potential in range, but it only improves its accuracy and gives it just that extra bit of utility, which makes it a lot of fun to use as well. The first bit of kit we're running on the SGX here is the standard suppressor. It affords the thing an insane amount of utility because it keeps you off the minimap, which in close quarters where this kind of weapon is really going to shine is worth its weight in gold. You also really don't need to work on the recoil with this slot of attachments either, so we don't need to worry about mounting something like a compensator instead. The suppressor, if you're looking for a muzzle attachment, is where your points are best spent. The ribbed vertical grip, on the other hand, is actually our main boat of recoil control in this build, but it also affords some extra accuracy while mobile, which is actually great for strafing and keeping up the aggression that is baked into the SGX, right? It's an SMG, it's designed to be aggressive, and improving that accuracy while moving is actually a really good step. I've opted to take on board the 8-inch extended barrel here, which improves our aiming speed while also affording some projectile velocity here, which gives the weapon just a bit more flexibility if you do catch yourself in a medium range firefight as well. The 30-round quick mag here because, well, why not? Extra reload speed goes a long way, but we're going to load that magazine with soft point ammunition, which, dare I say, folks, is absolutely devastating if you can score those headshots. Having that little extra oomph behind your shots with this gun can really equalize your engagements, especially if the range does extend out beyond what you might be comfortable with. And last but not least, I'm running the OSA 7 1.0. Unfortunately, the Mini Flex isn't available on this gun, so this is my next best bet. But alright, we've talked medium size, we've talked compact size. Now for my LMG lovers in the community, this next one is for you. While the KTS 100 was getting a lot of the spotlight across social medias in the lead up to the beta, the L110 has really grown on me as my main choice for absolutely frying groups of targets in quick succession. And this build has been an absolute menace in doing that for the L110. First off, and getting it out of the gate, the magazine and ammunition on this weapon are the default on the build. The SU 123 1.25X also being my scope of choice here for this kit. Nothing really magical here. However, the build really comes alive when you get the stippled stubby on there. I found it brings a ton of recoil mitigation to the build at a pretty little detriment in the areas that you're going to care about with this gun. It just feels like a big old win-win scenario in really dialing in on that recoil and making the thing feel consistent as possible. The 465mm long barrel, however, is also an absolute ticket to Ducker Town with this thing. It improves your accuracy under long bursts, which means you have to lift off the trigger less often, but it also punches the muzzle velocity up to a whopping 975 meters per second. This takes the weapon from feeling pretty good at most ranges to downright diabolical in my opinion, an absolute point and click adventure at times. And once again here, I'm actually taking a suppressor in the form of the CQB suppressor on this build. I really don't feel the need for any kind of extra recoil mitigation here with the muzzle slot, and if I'm in a good spot, the less info I can give to enemies the better while I am absolutely hosing them down with my 100 round mag. And trust me, I've had some absolutely menacing flanks with this thing and with this suppressor on board. It's really worth it. Don't sleep on it. Alright, the next weapon I want to draw some attention to in this one is the NVO 22-8E, or in other words, it's the Ace 23 from Battlefield 4. I think there's no denying that if you're a Battlefield 4 lover, this gun is going to hold a bit of a soft spot in your heart, and that is all too true for me here as well. This thing really feels like it fits into the armory as a bit of a jack-of-all-trades kind of kit, and the build that I've been really running with it lately tends to lean into that. Magazines and sight is pretty much stock standard here, nothing really worth delving into, it's all on your screen here currently, but the shenanigans really also kicks off here with that classical vertical grip, which yes, does slaughter the handling on the weapon, but I have found that to be a pretty minimal impact when you consider it against the overall benefits that it brings to the recoil. It keeps it wrangled in a very big way, which allows for some big mid-range picks with this weapon. The 409mm flooded barrel also helps to bring some of that handling back into the fray. I'm not sure if it's the best barrel for the weapon yet, but it's what I've been running so far, so I'll include it in the video. And the double port brake. I found this to be a really nice addition without costing too much on the attachment points side of things too. It's almost like a nice little bow on the top of the recoil mitigation measures that we've done previously with the classical vertical grip. It also frees me up enough to purchase and to equip, should I say, the soft point ammo, which improves the headshot multiplier on the weapon. I will admit, it feels amazing slamming heads with this thing when you're dialed in, because with an extra bonus to the headshot multiplier, it just feels like it absolutely deletes fools before they even know you're there. I seriously can't recommend trying this build enough. It's actually a ton of fun. And the last weapon I want to talk about here that I've been thoroughly enjoying in the beta build so far is the M4A1. Look, the M4 will always hold a soft spot in my heart in every game it appears in. It's just something so classic and so rustic about it, However, in this game, let me tell you folks, it has a bite to it. Seriously, bare ass naked, this thing kicks like a disgruntled toddler. With this kit, however, I was able to really turn it around and kind of make it purr like a kitten on the battlefield. The barrel on this kit is the standard one that comes with the weapon, with our points instead mainly sitting with the ribbed vertical grip and the compensated brake, which achieves a very nice balance of recoil control and mobility for aggressive gameplay, which feeds very nicely into the M4A1's rate of fire. I've also decided to opt for the 36 round mag on this gun as well. While it does see you technically have a slower movement speed while aiming, at least that's what the description alludes to, I actually couldn't pick up on that much of a difference in my time with using it, and I found the extra ammo to be a nice bonus more often than not, so I decided to stick with that attachment slot. I will be honest though, if there was a standard 30 round mag with a fast reload attachment on it available to this weapon, there's a chance I would have picked that up instead. Once again, soft point ammo also makes a return for that juicy headshot bonus. What can I say, I like clicking heads here, and with the M4A1, it also just feels so damn satisfying to be clicking heads with that additional bonus. And the M4 is also lucky enough to feature the MiniFlex 1.0, so my favorite sight makes a return here for me as well as this last entrant to the list. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you guys were able to get something out of the builds that I've shared with you today. If you did, be sure to backhand the like button. It does go a long way to supporting the channel. If you want to see me do videos on any other weapons as well, let me know in the comment section down below. I know that once Battlefield 6 launches full-time, we are going to be doing a sort of big holistic weapon review series on all the guns in the game, so stay tuned for that as well. And make sure you get subscribed as well if you're new to the channel, because it would be great to have you guys part of the community. We're going to be doing a lot of Battlefield 6 content when the game actually launches and throughout beta. But for now folks, that'll be the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it once again. Peace out, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Take care guys. Have a good one.